Ladies and gentlemen, 24 hours later, it now potentially seems that we have returned back to Seattle. And of course, we have a little bit of a few match cards for night 2 of Danger Zone. Of course, our night 2's opening matchup will be the XWA Underground General Manager Hurtful versus one of his newest signings to the company. And that will be the long-awaited Haven.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Rochester, New York, weighing in at 235 pounds.
And here you can see Hunter is actually a little bit of a tribute, let alone homage, was to the greatest luchador of all time, Rey Mysterio, not to mention that he's also a Hall of Famer. But of course, Hunter decided to pay tribute by wearing the colors of Rey Mysterio, the same attire colors that he ended up using in the Royal Rumble, or possibly in his debut. I don't know, I forgot to do my research, so y'all get to blame me for it. Wait, what the? And here is the long-awaited Haven. Sure, he has a lot of people here that he hates, let alone despise, but now he decided to turn his attention to Hunter. So Haven has arrived in Seattle. And Haven still can't believe that he is here. As Hunter and Haven are trying to soak things up here in Seattle. And the match is now underway. And here we go as Hunter laying down a little bit of offense as Haven might have to be strictly on the defense. Now Hunter just at least trying to humiliate one of the newer signings. It's looking like it's already working for him. Now he's trying to pick Haven back up, and now he's trying to go for some chops, and maybe gets a little bit of his own combo here. Slamming Haven onto the ground, hooking the legs here. Haven kicks out at 1. Looking like Haven's already back to his feet. Now, I gotta mention that Haven is also a world-renowned high flyer as well. So with this matchup being made official by Hunter himself as of last night that he will be fighting an XWA underground wrestler of his choosing, and one of his choosing happens to be Haven. Now, of course, the most of the XWA roster don't know what Haven is really capable of. However, from what Hunter had experience with, he sees the potential in Haven. Not sure what MYS will be happy about it. Haven managed to get out of a strong predicament. I think that he could possibly try to take over the win by countout. And as Haven managed to get back in the ring alongside with Hunter, it seems like the match is still going to go on. Haven now turning things around to try and get the overall upper advantage onto Hurtful. And looking like Haven gonna use his own version of the 619 and a connect. It seems like Haven is not finished as of yet, as overall XWA pay-per-view debut, and launching off the top rope for the front splash, hooking the leg of Hunter, and Haven gets the win. But in your opening match of night 2. Also, one moment. Bro, we're live right now, so unless you want to be late again, then I suggest you might as well join. Now it's time to get into a little bit more, pretty much a little bit more pain to be set afoot. As for Ashley Cruz, we'll be going up against the returning hit girl, Carol Douglas. As it has been a long time coming, and the fact that Carol Douglas will be performing in her home, at home in Seattle. But this would definitely be considered to be a last woman standing match. The way that the match works is anything goes, and at the opponent will have to either be knocked out or pretty much on the ground, let alone on the mat, for a total of 10 seconds. If they do not get up in under 10 seconds, then the bell will be rung, and the person that is still standing ends up winning.
The following contest is a last woman standing match. Making her way to the ring from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Ashley Cruz.
And yet from taking one good look at Ashley Cruz, you can actually see that she is not the same as she once was. But if there's one thing that some of us need to pay attention to, it's her right eye. I feel like the right eye had been badly bruised enough to the point where it almost turned pale white. However, she still says that it will not even keep her down for just a whole day. Report that the medical team had checked on it is saying that Ashley Cruz was still cleared to wrestle. But what about her opponent? And as you can also see that Ashley Cruz is going into this match was solo tonight. But as mentioned, that Cruz will have went into this match alone and not being like with the rest of Dark Matter. Reason for it that is because she actually once looked at Carol Douglas to pretty much be her idol, her role model in one way or another. But there is one thing that Ashley Cruz ends up knowing. Don't trust it. But never always trust your heroes. And that's what comes to the realization for Ashley Cruz and what makes this match possible. And now it's the Hit Girl versus, technically I want to say the big time moneymaker of the company, but that's not who she is at the moment. I was looking at Ashley Cruz, they got to going for a little bit of a hell ride with Carol Douglas. Ashley Cruz had to free herself from the corner. Carol Douglas now being put into one of the corner, managed to free herself from an early predicament and try to get the rebound attack, but slams will Ashley Cruz down and managed to connect with, I assume, a kick to the chest. Ashley Cruz is not going to stay down. A little cheap slap to the face, thinking that would keep Ashley Cruz down, and is looking that Carol Douglas is now introducing some weapons into the matchup. The cutter performed by Cruz managed to attempt to get the kendo stick off of Carol Douglas, and there is the cutter. Well, no, not cutter, it's a neck breaker. Well, I think a neck breaker and a cutter are technically the same thing, but done in a different way. I don't know. And there's the snap power slam from Ashley Cruz. And given the fact it is the last woman standing match, anything goes as long as it keeps the opponent down for more than 3 seconds. Just looking at Carol Douglas now has an idea and managed to land the kick straight to the chest of Ashley Cruz. But it will be Cruz to be back up on both her feet and wanted to carry on with this matchup. And now Ashley Cruz with the kendo stick in hand. Carol Douglas is attempting to play a bit of mind game to confuse Ashley Cruz. But it seems like those mind games have ended up being like overall pointless. It's grabbing with Carol Douglas up and slamming her down into the mat, but looking at what Ashley Cruz might be able to put away Carol Douglas in the center of the mat, and Douglas ends up moving out of the way and actually watch Ashley Cruz take the fall. At the ref is now on ringside. Technically in the last woman standing match, you can literally just drop your opponent anywhere and pretty much they would just have to stay down for approximately 10 seconds in order for a pinfall to be scored. And now, it's looking at Carol Douglas might end up utilizing the whole ring, let alone the whole ringside area, to her overall advantage. And mind you, this will be the first time, well, it would just be the first time that Carol Douglas and Ashley Cruz have took part in a last woman standing match. So both of these women might have intent to make history tonight. And as we predict down, as the ref started counting, as you can see. And now Ashley Cruz and now back to her feet. The moment the ref count reaches 4, beating the 10 count, and now just slamming Carol Douglas back first, and the ref count begins. And Ashley Cruz is just begging Carol Douglas to stay down, and it seems like both women managed to get themselves back up at the 4 count. And mind you, this is only just the beginning of the matchup. And it can only get much worse from here. Now into the ropes, seems like Ashley Cruz might be able to do something to Carol Douglas, but Douglas ends up countering and now throws Ashley Cruz into the rope and countered with a slam and the chest kick combo. And Ashley Cruz is now flat on the ground. And the ref count now surpasses 4. And Ashley Cruz ends up getting up at 5. And looking at Ashley Cruz, might be in a terrible predicament here. And mind you, it was that near eye injury that could have possibly taken her off the damn match. However, upon closer inspection, it wasn't all that bad, meaning that she is still medically cleared to fight. But after this matchup, I don't think she will be cleared to fight for approximately a month. Now Ashley Cruz is climbing to the top, ready to see further damage onto Carol Douglas, dropping the insane elbow. It seemed like Ashley Cruz is not done with Carol Douglas as of yet. And now managed to connect with the knee. And it might be over. Sorry. And it might be over for Carol Douglas. Carol Douglas needs to be able to get up before 10. And she managed to beat the 10 count with only her being 2 seconds off. And the match will keep on going as Ashley Cruz is just slightly pissed off that Carol Douglas ends up getting up. And Carol Douglas managed to get back up at 8 once again. And now Carol Douglas has Ashley Cruz down. But wait a second. It seems that Carol Douglas trying to utilize something and now just curb stomping Ashley Cruz's head into the ground. And see that Carol Douglas might be able to put away Ashley Cruz if he ends up getting this move correct. And that is the Hit Girl's bounty. Ashley Cruz is down. And she managed to get up before the 10 was called. And now Ashley Cruz ends up being put back down by Carol Douglas. As the Hit Girl ends up watching from behind, hoping that Ashley Cruz stays down. But Ashley Cruz is saying that it's not over, but Carol Douglas saying it is. Ashley Cruz needs to be able to get up. And looking at Carol Douglas might be celebrating an early victory that she's actually surprised that she managed to keep Ashley Cruz down for that long. And as Ashley Cruz had been punished for her missing the cutter, that would have been her only attempt to bring Douglas down. And there is the clothesline from hell. And the Seattle crowd is just chanting for Ashley, saying to use the clothesline one last time. It seemed that for the hometown hero, it seemed like that her people was turning against her because she is not putting up one good of a fight. And there is another snap power slam. And now Carol Douglas is back first onto the mat. And Carol Douglas is back to her feet now. And he's saying that I will literally carry this fight on until both of us, hell, even both of us end up causing a draw. Because Carol Douglas ended up waiting too long just to get her hands dirty, let alone she had been out of the ring long enough to where she had to get in a good fight. Because she couldn't just leave without clearing a few things off of her bucket list. And this is one of them. And of course, at the Seattle crowd in attendance, they're pretty much just holding their breath, hoping that their hometown hero ends up taking victory. Now with Ashley Cruz still being put down. So now it's Ashley Cruz might end up taking a fight to Carol Douglas. Has managed to duck under, managed to hop over and connect with the snap power slam. You see that Ashley Cruz managed to combine with the knee. You got the overall pain that Carol Douglas might end up being suffering as he managed to, or at least not managed to, but for Ashley Cruz to hold off and pretty much cut the ref count off or anything. So now it's Ashley Cruz trying to figure out any good way to put away Carol Douglas. However, it will be Carol Douglas to use the spine buster onto Ashley Cruz. And now Carol Douglas now has her eyes set on her only existing target. Now has her up into the Hit Girl's bounty. And as you can tell that Carol Douglas is all fired up tonight. The countdown at the halfway point. It's only a matter of time. As the Cruz is attempting to try to have her body wake herself up. And that will do it for the last woman standing match. As Ashley Cruz couldn't get up in time. And the Hit Girl wins in her hometown of Seattle. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our next matchup of the night. Let's see here. As it will pretty much be the self-proclaimed cowboy killer. Pretty much it would actually be one half of the Los Desperados, which might end up coming back together as a tag team versus the in-ring Bandit. But no, it would be the Bandit versus, technically in this case, the let alone sheriff of a wrestling ring and the likes of Cage. And here comes Cage. Now Cage, and then to the ring, actually looking like what Noah Miller ended up looking like at the start of XWA. It was quite funny, to say the very least.
And his opponent from Arlington, Texas, weighing in at 185 pounds, Tony Ford.
And now for Tony Ford, and now in ring, but he wanted to be labeled himself as the Bandit in this matchup. And the match is underway, and here comes Tony Ford. Time to try and put down Cage. Because you see, Tony Ford doesn't accept newcomers, let alone he doesn't accept the sheriff trying to put him behind bars. And then potentially be considered as Cage's immediate debut following after Haven. Now Cage trying to hook the leg here at Danger Zone. Wait a second, a roll up done by Tony Ford is what he is known for. Cage ends up kicking out. And looking at Tony Ford might just have Cage right where he wants him. Gonna go for a slam. If you look closely, you can actually see that when Tony Ford is in fact bleeding. Don't know how that happened, but a snap power slam might be able to do the absolute trick. And now the fight is getting taken to the outside with Charlie Ford directly hot on Cage's ass. And now a Cage is attempting to try and fight back. They have to miss with the cutter, but ends up connecting with the Hurricanrana. It seems that Cage is going to the top rope. Tried to go, but pretty much for the deputy stomp. Charlie Ford ends up taking out at 2. Now a Cage. And we're trying to figure out what else can he do to put away Charlie Ford. And it seems like Cage wants Charlie Ford to get up. Looking that Cage is probably going to use something, but they have to roll Charlie Ford and connect with the kick. I believe that rollover kick was probably a homage to Kalisto in the WWE. One of my favorite wrestlers in WWE at the time, yes. And now Cage is just hooking the leg of Charlie Ford here. And Cage not being able to make a successful pinfall attempt, but managed to go a little bit sky high into a corkscrew crossbody. And I never thought we would see the day that Cage would be the one doing high-flying like moves, and we thought it would be Haven. Now Charlie Ford all fired up. He did not want to attempt to put away Cage out off the ringside. And the Sheriff panically being put down here. Back inside the ring now. And it's looking that Charlie Ford might just let guard down into the rear cutter from Cage. And looking like Cage managed to go for some sort of scissor drop. And now he's having to lock in a submission onto Charlie Ford. And Charlie Ford might be forced to tap out. However, Cage ends up releasing the hold. They had to go for a springboard splash and to hook in the leg. And the Sheriff takes the win. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Where is it? That was here somewhere. Ah, here it is. I'm actually curious, does entrance actually work here? Because if not, then that's kind of a bummer. And our next match has been confirmed out of nowhere that it will be Willow against Melissa Smith. What the shit? So as we can tell that no one is here. But this feels weird.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Melissa Smith.
So of course, as even Melissa Smith is slightly confused what happened to the crowd and why is she looking technically more emo than she thought she ever would look like. But in fact, that this is normal because she decided to step into the world of Willow. Yeah, I am definitely going to use this stage more often than not. And here is Willow.
And from your darkest fears.
And Willow had now been summoned into this matchup. And it seemed that Melissa Smith is saying that she can easily challenge like god level threats in a wrestling ring. And that ended up catching the attention of Willow. And pretty much whatever intention, let alone that Willow has in store in order to torment Melissa Smith would be at an all-time high. Now, of course, Willow has said that she will go easy on Melissa Smith because Melissa Smith almost looked to be like the new host of Willow. After no referees, or as least never mind. And now the match is underway with no crowd behind and everything is darked out. It says I'm the only person with a voice here, and now it seems that Willow is gonna be taking majority of the match to herself. Well, which are trying to put away Melissa Smith. And whatever Willow had planned on doing, had to go and use Ryan Stone's tombstone drop to put everything within her corner, hooking the leg here, and Melissa Smith ends up kicking out. Although at this match may just be as confusing as most people have thought. Hell, even most people are a little bit confused. And you can just see the speed from pretty much both woman and dumb. Yes, because Willow preferred to be known as Day Dumb for some reason. But anyways, are we going to blame her for it? Probably not, because Willow and of course the host of Willow are two different people. And looking at Willow attempting to try and break Melissa Smith's entire ankle apart. And managed to stomp into that same exact leg. But surprisingly enough, Melissa Smith ended up freeing herself. And now the fight being taken onto ringside. If there even is a ringside, because it's just so fucking dark. I'm hoping someone has a lantern so we can actually see. But now the camera is cutting to the ringside area. And now Melissa Smith might be able to free herself. The ref count was almost about to make it to 4. And Melissa Smith had to go for a DDT as Willow wisely rolling out of the ring to avoid any more danger, avoiding the second kick, putting Melissa Smith onto the ground, but as Melissa might just have Willow in a bad way here, trying to at least break the upper back, or let alone the whole neck. And as Melissa Smith is now just hammering away onto Willow. And whatever Melissa Smith has planned, that she might be the only woman that can actually defeat Willow at her own games, just throwing Willow across the ring with ease, and now getting a little bit of payback into stomping her, or pretty much stomping them into the leg, and tried to connect with the leg, but Melissa Smith realizes that her ankle is not going to be in good shape, in which she ends up receiving a bit of pain of it. And Willow might just be able to capitalize on the situation. Now putting Melissa Smith into the Chapter 7, hooking the leg here. But Melissa Smith kicks out. And see that Willow is not even fazed by it, because she just wants to continue to torture for Melissa Smith. And it seems like this is all some sort of dream. A nightmare even. But wait a second, it seemed like Melissa Smith were probably going to be in a bad predicament, let alone a bad way of her losing the man to free herself and dishing out even more punishment onto Willow, as in hooking the leg here. As Willow get that at 1. But of course, that Melissa Smith is still slightly curious on who the hell is the real identity of Willow, and what is causing Willow to be in this current state. But wait a second, looking like that Willow was trying to get a hold of Melissa Smith for whatever reason. So Melissa is just fighting for her life to not only defeat Willow, but to get out of whatever fucking roller coaster ride of a nightmare she is trapped in. And now Willow going to the top turnbuckle, attempting to go for some corner splash, in which does not work. Now just slamming Melissa Smith onto one of the aprons. And the ref count reaches to 3. Melissa Smith managed to use a little bit of a standing clothesline to attempt to put down Willow. And whatever is happening here, it's not gonna look pretty. And while Melissa Smith is trying to catch her breath here, attempting to try and catch Willow off guard, but she ends up missing the headbutt of Willow, and actually, they end up driving the head of Melissa Smith down, but looking that Willow was getting ready to put the finishing touches onto Melissa Smith. And uh-oh. What the hell? And that Melissa Smith, it could be badly hurt. If I were to recommend her not to look what's coming her way, because this lady like some sort of fucking creature crawling close to its prey. And whatever Willow has in store for Melissa Smith, potentially putting her into the Chapter 7. Hooking the leg here. And Willow is the woman, well, not woman, but Willow is the person that will be taking another soul and adding it to her collection. as we will provide updates on what happened to the whereabouts of Melissa Smith if she ends up waking up. You know what? I'm gonna use the damn ring for any Halloween-based shows. I think I just accidentally gave myself an idea. Oh well. So now we know what the Firefly Funhouse ring looks like. Ugh. Can only imagine how that was in real life. But now, as bad as it already is, I think people are now checking in on, well, on Melissa Smith. And we can see her literally just spazzing out in the middle of an emergency bed, pretty much in the medical area of the Seattle arena. Literally just looking like that she is fighting demons. Obi from Minecraft. I feel like I've seen that username before, but not really. Oh well. But it seemed like now we end up returning to a live audience after what had happened previously. And here is the chairman, or in this case the person responsible for firing Dane out of Torres due to recent events that happened approximately last night during night 1. And for those that wanted to see it, there is a video on my TikTok page. It's going more, well, not more, but pretty much explaining it in depth. But the chairman is here in Seattle, and he is willing to fight. And who will be his opponent? Of course, no music playing in the background for obvious reasons.
From Columbia, South Carolina, weighing in at 185 pounds.
And here comes Triple M, Money Making Matt. Now, no one knows what Money Making Matt's current motives are, let alone what is his intention. But it looks like that he actually managed to get himself pretty much a new attire. Well, to us it's new, but to him it's actually one of his oldest attires that he had ever worn. In fact, it was the same attire that he wore in the Indies. And Money Making Matt decided to bring it out because it would be the only attire that he has. Now the match begun, and it seems that the chairman is going directly after Money Making Matt, trying to slam him onto the ring to get an early pinfall attempt, but it doesn't work due to a rope break. Of course, and now Denver Lucas, or Anti in this case, now throwing Triple M out of the ring, and see that the ref is trying to hold him back. And all looking at Triple M probably just bitch slap the ref. Because the ref should know that is the chairman that they are talking to. Managed to drop the elbow onto Triple M, trying to get the pinfall attempt, but Triple M breaks the cover. Now Money Making Matt taking control. Now trying to attempt to throw. So anti-into a rope and managed to counter with some sort of hip throw or hip toss, I guess. And Triple M just might be able to put away Anti here, but not if Anti had anything to do about it. And Anti now going back to technically showcasing how he was like when he was a heel. They were trying to rip the absolute face off of Triple M. That might make a Matt end up rolling out of the ring. And the fall in line with Anti's like ankle hold, as what he calls. And Triple M had to connect with some running like drop kick. I think that was a running drop kick, that could be wrong. Triple M is fighting for his life, and now he just slammed onto the ring post. So looking at Triple M, and you have a possible way to finish off Anti. That's what might make a Matt want to attempt to win this by count out. And he does.
Here is your winner.
And it feels like the only U.S. country in the world that supports Money Making Matt will have to be in Seattle. And of course, I believe we now have an update on who MYS will end up being fighting up against. Due to MYS not getting himself a matchup. But apparently there is only one person that ended up answering MYS's like challenge for Danger Zone, and that would be FNO.
scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Charlottesville, Virginia, weighing in at 215 pounds,
Now as F&O is in Seattle, that technically he was just a pin away from entering himself into the ladder match. However, it would end up being Ryan Stone that would defeat him and causing pretty much F&O mania. Well, no, not mania, but the F&O era, but in XWA. Now you gotta remember that F&O have been damn near successful in every company that he wrestled in Rec Room. Because he had been a champion in each of those companies that I could list off now, but it'll probably get boring as time goes on. So we prefer not to say. Because F&O now set his sights on a former rival that he's had in those companies, and that being MYS. F&O now has MYS up, but MYS managed to escape and managed to go forward. Pretty much a springboard drop kick. Now whatever MYS had planned on doing, and pretty much going for a rope assisted Alabama slam. And that the overall strength as the possible pages of MYS has, that he wants F&O up, and there's the top rope cutter. MYS managed to throw F&O into the corner now. But of course, after this match, it will be the co-main event, and after that will be the actual main event. F&O managed to slam MYS down. MYS managed to kick out. It seemed that F&O now have MYS right where he wants him. Pretty much gets him with a bit of a, like a turnbuckle, bump and throw. So And now whatever FNO has planned for MYS is throwing him across the ring. And MYS is just pretty much going through everything right now. So MYS managed to counter and gives FNO a headbutt. And now use the same move that's heavily got MYS down for just a matter of seconds. But FNO managed to fight back. And technically this is like the US versus the UK in a wrestling match. And don't get us wrong, both MYS and FNO are well-talented wrestlers in their own rights. So technically it should be no contest for where both men actually share almost a few similarities in terms of their wrestling skill. And there's the knee done by MYS. It seems MYS is going to the middle rope and meant to go for, I believe that would be a 450. I don't know, can someone calculate that, but I believe that was a 450 that MYS had done. Sliding himself out the ring, now grabbing FNO and going for a spinning back slam. And another slam onto ringside. It seems that MYS is just not finished with FNO. But of course, today is the night 2, let alone the final night of Xwa Dangerzone 2. And after that, it will be back to regular weekly shows on the FWA, beginning with, of course, the Onslaught after Danger Zone. So make sure to be there when it'll be streamed live, I believe on April 1st. So today is Saturday, March 30th. Tomorrow's the 31st. Yeah, so April 1st on a Monday, that's where it'll happen. And then MYS managed to go for a pop-up hurricanrana, hooking the leg. But the ref called the rope break, and she is right. And MYS has another trick up his sleeve, grabbing FNO from under the leg and looking for the kill switch. Hooking the leg here if he could just get it. And MYS felt the wind just between his fingertips. Or let alone just in his fingertips. And now MYS is going to have to use Big E's own move, the big ending. And it worked. And MYS had defeated FNO, but I believe that it wouldn't be the end of MYS against FNO. But of course, the dream match that everyone wants to have to happen is MYS versus Forever Jimmy. Two pioneers in the wrestling industry battling it out. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your co-main event. Now, welcome to Seattle, ladies and gentlemen, as your main event of tonight Well, no, not main event, co-main event, idiot.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from San Diego, California, Xwa Dangerzone.
And pretty much here's the XWA's rogue Barbie girl in a way. Sure, she may be like almost one of the shortest. Well, the second shortest XWA women's wrestler besides Ashley Cruz. But don't let her hype fool you, because she technically is the one woman that can completely fuck you over and laugh in your face afterwards. And looking at the Seattle audience is not liking Julia Garcia. Well, some fans, but most people actually do kind of like a little bit of a heel for the women's division. Now she will be fighting Nicole Anderson. And what the? No way. Could it be? Could it be the return? And it is, ladies and gentlemen, Lancelot is back. By popular demand, too. But as Lancelot is back in the Seattle, pretty much the Seattle fans are happy as hell. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event. Julia Garcia against the returning Lancelot, Nicole Anderson. And already hooking the leg goes for Nicole. And Garcia ends up kicking out at 2. Well, no, not 2, 1. That's for Lancelot. Pretty much there is arguably one of the biggest histories between everyone at FWA, and then there comes Lancelot Nicole Anderson. One of the most hated, let alone successful heels in the XWA. And pretty much an overall fan favorite for most people. But with that aside, we have to have a talk with Julia Garcia. Sure, she may be like a new addition to the roster, but as it already turns out, that she has pretty much better skill in a wrestling ring. And now Nicole Anderson tried to get a hold of Garcia. Now back at the ring now. My apologies, but looking at Miss Garcia, wants to try at least plant the face of Nicole Anderson down into the wrestling ring. Whatever she has plans here, pretty much with a back suplex. Looking at Julia Garcia. Now Nicole Anderson right where she wants her. Got asked her to get up and slamming Nicole down, but she just gets back up immediately like nothing happened. Pretty much the hair whip was already done by Garcia. However, the rope break was called as one of Nicole's legs had landed on the bottom rope. After Julia Garcia hopefully trying to escape Nicole Anderson's overall power. There's the discus punch. Looking like Nicole is going to the top rope, trying to get Julia Garcia back up, but Garcia would be the one to move out of the way in time. But it won't stop Nicole Anderson. So what she has a store, we're pretty much into the Royalton knee, or what she calls it. And Julia Garcia kicks out at 2.9. Also, there is the official name of that knee that Nicole Anderson had used. And pretty much she actually called it, well, pretty much the night, well, pretty much she called it the exile. Or exile, gonna work. But now looking at Nicole Anderson, now locking in pretty much the submission, the sleeper hold. But it turned out to be unsuccessful, trying to plant Julia Garcia down onto the mat before stomping her into that lower back. Wait a second, Julia Garcia managed to get the roll up, and Nicole breaks free. And a big boot straight to the face of Julia. And now Nicole just trying to drive the head of her into it. And whatever Nicole Anderson had planned here, trying to take to the skies, but Julia Garcia moved out of the way in time again. And you can see that Julia is showcasing a little bit of her athleticism in the ring by going with, I think, the two splits back to back. I feel like the Seattle crowd, let alone the whole FWA universe, can actually now start to get behind Julia Garcia. And she's just only 20 years old, which is quite surprising. A snap power slam done by Nicole Anderson. But Nicole was attempting to use something involving the springboard. And now going for the Tiger suplex. Hooking the leg here. And Garcia once again kicked out of 2.9. And Nicole is still surprised to the fact that may have to carry Julie Garcia out of the ring. But it wouldn't be for that long. I thought pretty much at before even Danger Zone what to happen. I actually seen something online saying that the whole bridge collapsed in Baltimore. So although I don't know anyone that lives in Baltimore, but if so, then I would like to send my condolences but to the people, but pretty much to, if any of my subscribers are coming from Baltimore, that is, or without it, I send my condolences because that whole bridge collapsing looked gnarly as hell. So yeah. But anyways, but now on to back to the matchup. I don't know what the hell was that. That looks fucking weird. I don't know who that's in the crowd that we can spot, but it seems like they are late to the party already. But hey, better late than never, right? But now it's Lancelot Nicole Anderson might just sustain control in the matchup, line it up for a discus punch, putting away Julia Garcia, but she managed to get up as Garcia goes for some, I believe that was some sort of corkscrew crossbody. You gotta remember that Julia Garcia technically is considered herself to be some like small high flyer, and both women are potentially knocked down in the ring, but now and Nicole were trying to get Julia Garcia up, and she actually ended up receiving, and now Julia Garcia going for a flip senton, and pretty much she actually does it twice just to make sure the damage was already implemented. Now Julia Garcia carries in the corner to have a bit of her advantage, stomping the overall leg, and Nicole as Julia now has a possible way to finish off Nicole Anderson, hooking the leg here. But Nicole ends up kicking out. And now Julia Garcia tries to at least finish the combination. And this might just lead to a rivalry set to happen. Once again, Garcia ends up kicking out at 2. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the co-main event. And Nicole Anderson is technically fighting for her absolute best here to try and put away pretty much the evil Barbie girl of XWA, Julia Garcia. And here's the surprising news about Julia Garcia. Her and Morgan Ramirez are technically related to one another, but not really. There are rumors spreading around that they are potentially the same height, and in fact, they were technically born like 1 year apart, with Garcia being 20 and Ramirez being 19. But she turns 20 next month, on the 13th. Hugging the leg here, go for Nicole Anderson, and manages to put away Garcia. Lancelot is back. Question is, we don't know. Will Lancelot will be here to stay? So in this case, as for Seattle and everyone watching at home, might as well want to cherish this moment for the rest of their lives. And it may be the official last time we get to see Lancelot in the ring. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the night. I might as well put it in no holds barred, because why not? But ladies and gentlemen, we just been informed that it's about, pretty much, it is about to be some sort of Dallas street fight waiting to happen. Pretty much ever since when Dallas Renegades has imploded, pretty much all hell was just bound to break loose at any given moment. And this all happened due to Taylor Ford's disappearance and her managing Mr. Blue, which ended up being a disaster. It seems that Tony Ford decided to bring backup with her. However, how will Taylor Ford end up responding to possibly the threat that Tony Ford brings along with her in the case of Samantha JP, and of course, Ashley Cruz. And here comes Dark Matter. So Dark Matter is here in all of its glory. However, as of course you can see, Ashley Cruz is pretty much fine. But you can actually tell that she is hurt as fuck. Very much referred to as casually walking. That Ashley Cruz might just be severely hurt the way that she is walking. So of course she just walked it off like nothing. And to this very day, we don't even know what Tony Ford is whispering into Samantha JP's ear. But I hope it actually does get revealed if we end up having an interview with Samantha JP out of character. now as Dark Matter is in the ring, pretty much supporting Tony Ford. Question is, how will Taylor Ford respond? And see that Taylor Ford will be accompanied by her sister, pretty much her older sister, in the likes of Emma Ford. Now, surprisingly enough, Tony Ford did not escalate this whole problem into targeting Emma Ford, and which that would proceed to kick off a tag team match. But luckily, it didn't end up going that far. And after Taylor Ford is looking to end and possibly restore Dallas Renegades by tonight. And if not, then she said it's going to be a long night in Seattle. Okay, what the fuck is wrong with the loading? Are we for real fucking stuck in a black screen? What the fuck happened? Alright, hold on, I'm gonna fucking restart this. Don't worry.